You are listening to I Am Refocused Radio with your host, Shemaiah Reed. This show is designed to inspire you to live your purpose and regain your focus. And now, here's your host, Shemaiah Reed.
Welcome back to I Am Refocused Radio. Once again, we are here today, and just like any other time, we have another amazing show line for y'all today. Today, we have a returning guest. We have our amazing friend, Lieutenant Colonel Melva Rivera Perez, retired. She is back in the studio again today to talk about what has been happening. She has been gone for a little bit, but it's a great time to be in the studio with her once again. She has a website you can go to, melvafortexas.com. But cut to the chase, I want to say to you, thank you for being here in the studio. First of all, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing good. Excuse me. Been running around. Things are crazy. We are 2 months away from the first day of early voting. So things have just taken it up, not one, but probably about 4 notches. So things are crazy. But I wanted to come in and catch up with you. So thank you so much for this opportunity.
I appreciate you being on. So when you think about all that has gone on since the last time that we talked to each other, what are you seeing in the community? Because I know you're still heavily involved in the community. I'm sure you're probably talking to people and asking them questions and asking what do they want to see happen with government and with people like yourself as leaders. What is the scoop? What is going on in the community and how are they feeling right now?
Well, I can tell you that people in the community know who I am now. I know back then we were kind of just trying to get the campaign together and stuff. And so now I am out there. I am back and forth, going down the streets, attending neighborhood association meetings, town hall meetings, really getting out there and talking one-on-one with people. They need to know who I am. They need to know my heart, my serving heart. And I can guarantee you that they know it now because although I'm not even in the position, I am making impacts on people's lives, and that just makes me feel whole. That makes me feel really good about doing that, and that just goes to show that I'm in the right place.
And for those who are just tuning into this particular episode, maybe they didn't catch the previous one, kind of educate the audience real quick, what you're running for, what you got planned on. Tell us all about this early voting details and what's the scoop on that.
I am Melva Rivera Perez. As you introduced me, I am a retired combat vet. I served in the United States Army for 28 and a half years. So for almost 3 decades, I served our nation, our soldiers, and their families. When I retired in 2023, I had to find things to do. And because I have so much to offer, I have so much passion, and I know that I can make an impact on people's lives, I decided to throw my name in the hat to run for House District 119 in the Texas House of Representatives. And so since then, it was back in February when I was here. It just seems like yesterday. But I've been getting out there. The House District 119 consists of 82 precincts. And those 82 precincts are within 6 different cities, which consist of Live Oak, Universal City, Converse, Schertz, China Grove, Southeast San Antonio, and of course Northeast San Antonio. So it's a big area of about over 200,000 people.
When you look at what's going on in the world, I mean, since you came in the studio, a lot is happening with, we won't go in politics, but we'll just say in this sense that it's been a lot of global news and impacts
tons of it.
That's happening, but it's also impacting local communities like in this area where we are in Texas. So kind of tell us what are some of the concerns that you're hearing from people when it comes to economics, when it comes to maybe how much they have in the budget to get groceries and pay rent or mortgage, whatever. What is on people's hearts and minds right now?
Well, right now, I'm sure, as you said, if you've been looking at the news, it's very hard to ignore that people right now are very upset about property taxes, the rising of property taxes, the budget. We are in debt by about $157 million. So hence the reason why right now they are talking about raising the property taxes. So people are in an uproar this whole week and going into next week. All the city councilmen are having town hall meetings, and every councilman has to go and face the people and update them and let them know what's going on and why are we in debt and what are some of the programs that are being cut or being considered to be cut. So right now, when you are talking about people's taxes and being a taxpayer, they want to know the ins and outs. They want to be heard. And that is what's going on right now in the city of San Antonio, Bexar County.
When people know that someone's running for office, let's just be brutally honest, they have their biasness, they have their questions. But from your lens, someone who is running personally and your experience thus far, what are you hearing from leaders, your peers, if you will, those who are actually in the arena to have the ability to have influence over these people's lives and policies that affects people's lives? What are you hearing from your peers, and what do you hope can maybe come together, if you can, on something, not just common sense, but on policies and ideas that can really bridge the gap of what people kind of feel like, hey, can we just kind of get along and get some things done here?
Well, what I'm hearing from my peers is that we need to work together. We need to work together to be able to make better decisions for our communities. I think the last time that I was here, one of the things that I did address was how our country is very divided. And again, I am a Republican and running as a Republican, but I really feel that it has to be more than parties. It has to be more than blue and red. It has to be about leaders coming together, working together for the betterment of our constituents and our communities. Right now, as we are out there talking to our constituents, to our communities, people are very angry. People are angry because they feel that they're not being heard. They feel that they're being ignored. They feel that they have issues, they have problems, they have needs, and they're not being met. So as a new quote-unquote politician, although I say I'm not a politician, but as a new politician going out there and trying to talk to people and asking them, what is the one thing or two things that are going on in the community that you feel that we need to be addressed, they're angry. They are angry, and we need to hear them. As a new person that is out there, I have to gain their trust, because right now there is no trust out there. They feel that they've been used. They feel that politicians only go out there when it's time to get their vote, get them to vote, but they are not getting anything in return. So one thing that I am doing is, unfortunately, I have to hear all the griping because they want to be heard. And so if you hear them and you talk to them and you let them know what you're about, you let them know, for me, what my background is, and it's not about the money for me. It's not about the title. Been there, done that. It is not about holding the position and forgetting about them. It's about my 3 years of dedicated service to our nation, our soldiers and their families. And I'm here to stay. I'm not going anywhere. And so I really feel that me and my peers, what we are working on right now is earning people's trust. We have to gain their trust, because without their trust, not only are they not going to vote for us, they're not going to support us. And just like we need their support, they need to see from us firsthand that we are there to take care of them, and that their voice is important, and that their comments and their opinions are important. And right now they are not seeing that. They're being shut down, they're kind of being brushed aside, and leaders in place right now are kind of doing what they want. And sitting at some of these town hall meetings, it is so discouraging. and so disheartening to see how the community is so upset. And when you go to a town hall meeting and you see about 15 to 20 police officers there just to maintain the crowd, that's eye-opening. That is eye-opening.
When pain gets to a certain capacity, threshold, is bound to spill over. And real quick, listen to I Am Refocused Radio. If you're just now tuning in, talking to our special guest for today. Welcome back, our special guest, Lieutenant Colonel Melva Rivera Perez. And go to her website, melvafortexas.com. And I have to first say thank you for your service again. Appreciate you and what you do for your country and still do for your country. I want to talk more about leadership and both parties. And if you can, for our audience, if there's ways in your mind that you can see that we can work across the aisle and say, okay, I understand that you have this idea for this policy. I understand you have this that you want to cater for your voters. What's one thing that you believe can be workable for the greater good for just the general public and set aside our loyalty to our respective side of the party?
I would say I would start first with whether it's kids and their education or the elderly, because both are very important to our communities. I mean, for our kids, these are our future leaders, and we need to invest in them, and we need to make sure that we are making the best decisions for them, not for us, not for the party, but for them. Again, I think the last time I was here, we talked about not every child, not every kid wants to go to college. There's some that they already know what they want to study. They know what they want to be when they grow up. But there's other kids that are like, not interested. I don't even want to go to school right now. Very important for them to stay in school, but, kind of just talking to them and seeing what interests you. There's so many trades out there. There's so many certifications that they can seek out. Some kids will say 4 years in college, oh my God, that's like forever. Which really isn't, but if you say you can get a certification in 6 months, and in 6 months this is how much you'll make, or you can go and get this trade and within a year you'll be working as a professional here. And so sometimes it's a matter of being able to talk to the kids and talk to the parents, because who better able to make decisions for their kids, and who better able will know their kids better than anybody else but the parents. Yeah. So I would say that the kids would be number one priority, that put parties aside. This is not about politics. It's about people, to be able to come together for the kids' best interest. Same thing with the elderly. We have so many elderly out there that as you go and you knock on their door to talk to them, you can barely see them because there's 5-6 feet worth of grass outside. These people need our help. And it's not a matter of saying, hey, this is who I am, vote for me. But here, I can see that you need help. Let me get somebody out here to cut your grass. What do you need? When I talk to some of these elderly, they're saying, I don't have enough food. I'm on a fixed income. Property taxes are already high. I can barely pay my bills. I don't have money for food. So they go to pantries, church pantries. They go to
nonprofits.
Yes, nonprofits. And they say, I already know where to go. And if I break down my food enough, I'll have enough food for the whole week. That breaks my heart. I'm just like, what is wrong with our community? These people have worked all of their lives to be starving at the end? No. So again, this is not about parties. This is about taking care of the people. And these are our elders, and we should not be pushing them aside. We should be taking care of them.
And this studio is located here in San Antonio, known as Military City, USA. There's a lot of veterans here in Texas alone. Mm-hmm. What have you been hearing from veterans wherever you're going, as far as meetings and talking to the community? What are you hearing from them, and what are the needs of their family and them individually, as far as what they're looking for from our leaders?
Well, I can say that as a veteran, we always think, okay, veterans are going to follow other veterans. Veterans are going to trust, they're going to do this, do that. But I am finding more now that the veterans are kind of shutting the doors down on, i.e. the Republican Party. And initially I didn't understand that. I'm like, how? Well, now more so than ever, you are hearing about the VA is looking into certain things like tinnitus, sleep apnea, certain things that they are considering, we're going to do away with that. If you are currently receiving disability for A, B, and C, we are looking at doing away with that. So as a veteran, dealing with another veteran with disabilities that may be at 100%, that may be at 40%, they are relying on that disability check. And if that disability check that they now need because they are on a fixed income to be able to survive for the month, and now the government, whether it's the VA, whether whoever it is that is considering removing some of those things from the disability rating, they are seeing it as in, we went and fought for our country and you're shutting you're shutting us out. Why are you shutting the door when we sacrificed and we put our bodies, through a lot, and now we are applying for disability or receiving disability, and now you're talking about 10, 15, 20 years later, oh yeah, that's not considered a disability anymore. So as I go around and talk to veterans, they feel betrayed. They feel betrayed, and they feel that our government is not taking care of them. And so from one veteran to the other, yes, I want to get into this position because I am their voice. I will be their voice, and I will be fighting for them because I know how they feel.
And also for first responders, we want to also include them, police and EMS. What are you hearing from them through their lens? What are some pain points that they're experiencing that they're wanting some either answers or some hopeful vision to attack some of those issues?
Well, from our first responders, the first things that, I hear is they need more funding, they need equipment, they need more training. There's a lot of things going on within the city. We just have a new interim police chief, which I met. Amazing guy. I know that he's going to do great things. We have the sheriff, which is Salazar. So I really think that we need to be talking to them so that they can be investing more money on training. We can't be pushing our first responders or law enforcement to, through training, through school, because we need them out there, not knowing that that's going to affect the way they react to the public, the way they respond to an emergency. So it's not a matter of trying to rush people through school. We have to put emphasis on that and kind of slow that down and continue to follow up with additional training. Having one training here and having training every 2 to 3 years, maybe, that's not enough. That is not enough. We need more training, and we need to invest more money into the equipment that they have. If we want them to be professional, we need to provide them the equipment that they need as professionals. So one thing that I do hear from them is they're doing the best that they can. They go out there and they pay themselves to put themselves through training, because whether it's the department doesn't have the money or they can't schedule the training, whatever the case may be, they're like, we are training ourselves, we're paying for our own training, because they are professionals and because they do want to do their job and do a good job for our communities, for our city, to try to prevent some of the things that have happened in the past. So again, out here supporting our first responders. We have to support them. They are our key to public safety.
When you think about the family at home and the pressures they go through, school's about to start, supplies is going to be costly. New clothes is going to be costly. There's a lot of items on the list. What are you hearing from families in regards to the communities they live in, the grocery stores they go to, and kids at school? What are their concerns, and what are you thinking about your peers as far as how ones in leadership can do a better job, not just listening to what they're saying, but actually execute on details that will allow them to see some actual impact and not just a good speech?
Right. Yes. Nobody wants to hear a good speech. They want to see action. They want to see action. They want to notice change for themselves. I think people are done with politicians talking. They want to see execution. They want to see them out there. Don't be telling me through a commercial. Don't be sending me a flyer. Where are you? Why are you not out here with us? And so, yes, right now, we all know and we are all experiencing the influx in gas prices, grocery prices, school supplies. I mean, just school supplies. Schools just started within the last week to 2 weeks. And one thing that I have gotten involved in a lot is in the community. There were so many school backpack giveaways, school supply drives, and a lot of these events were packed with families, because what initially, way back when, I remember 2 to 3 weeks before school started, you would go to Walmart, you would go to H-E-B, and you could buy a ream of paper, for 25 cents. You could buy a folder for 10 cents, and you would grab as much as you could to last you the whole year. Mm-hmm. Those days, although you can still grab that 10 cents folder that you could buy 10 for $1, man, up to like 4 years ago, now that same folder is 79 cents, 89 cents. And you're thinking it's not even $1. Well, when you need 7 or 8 of them, and you have 3 to 4 kids, and now the ream of paper that you were able to buy for 25 cents to 50 cents, now it's $2. It makes a difference. It really makes a difference. And, the economy is hard. Jobs are hard. Families are struggling to make ends meet, trying to clothe their children. So right now, getting involved and finding out what resources are out there. There's so many resources out there for families. And one of the things I want to give a shout out to an organization that I've gotten very involved with, which is called Bridging the Gap. And Bridging the Gap, they have a monthly meeting every month where they bring all of these people from all different organizations, and they offer services from medical to mental health, anything you can think of. And it is so wonderful to go to these, because as you go out block walking and you find out this person needs help with here, this person needs help here, you're like, you know what? I know somebody. And you have those resources, and you're like, instead of telling them, let me get back to you, I have those resources on hand to say, you know what? Hold on. Let me make a call for you. That is what you call a leader in action. Do you know how many times I have gone to neighborhood association meetings and addressed issues with city council people that are at that meeting? And I tell them, and they're like, I'm going to follow up. And there's 2, 3, 4 months go by, and you're calling them, and they never call you back. And then you see they never actioned anything. So those leaders that have been voted for and being put in those positions, follow up and follow through is very important, because as somebody that wants their job, they're showing me firsthand that they're not taking their job serious. In those type of positions, they have a staff of anywhere from 10 plus people. Maybe you can't do it yourself, but you have a staff of 10 people to say, I need you to follow up on this and follow up with me, so that when I go to this next meeting, and I know I'm going to be looking at Mel, because Mel's going to be right there looking for you, so that I can have an answer for her and let her know, hey, this is what we're doing, this is what we've done, this is, programs that, we've, applied for on their behalf. There's so many programs, there's so many resources, but if you're in the position and you're taking it for granted, oh, okay, yeah, she's going to go away. I'm not going anywhere. I'm here because my heart is in this and I see the need firsthand, and I'm not going to back down, and I'm not going to be quiet. Even from afar, I am still these people's voice, being in the position or not.
And I know we are almost close on time, but
sorry, I just took over. That's my heart talking.
No, that's good. It's good. We're going to go a little overtime, but one thing I want to unpack here real quick is looking from through the lens of the voter. I could be wrong, but I'm going to just take an educated guess and say I think most people, or some people, because you got to be careful what you say on radio, I think the ideal person, whatever they believe, whatever side they're on, I think they want to buy food for dinner, they want a roof over their head, and they want to live in a safe community. And I don't think that's too much to ask. So my question for you is, how important is for leaders in your position and others to really work together to tackle some of these very common sense detail items? Because from a voter's perspective, even if you got a couple of those on the list accomplished, I think it changes the tone of how people feel.
Right. I mean, somebody wanting the bare necessities. I mean, yeah, like you're saying, it is common sense that we want a roof over our head. We want food on the table. We want to be able to send our kids with somewhat nice clothes to school. We don't want something that's too tight, too short, inappropriate, whatever. We want the basic necessities. And yes, we should be working together to provide that. And again, it shouldn't be about parties. It shouldn't be about, oh, it's me against you. No, let's work together to make our community better. Since the last time I was here, my 4 pillars that I'm like, okay, this is what I stand on. My 4 pillars are having a brighter community, a safer community, a prosperous community, a powerful community. It's all community-based. It's all community-based because these are basic things that a community should have, that we as leaders of the community should be able to provide for our constituents, for their families. Yes, this is something that we need to be working together. Put the parties aside. Enough is enough, really. Let's work together. Stop ignoring my calls. Stop ignoring people's calls when they're calling you saying, I need help. I haven't had hot water in a whole month. I need help. I had a leak in my house from a water heater. I have, my floors that are rotting from that water. And that was reported 2 months ago, and nothing has been done. Wow. And so, guess what? I may not be in the position, but let me see it. Let me research some programs, and let me see how I can help you, ma'am. Imagine getting a call at midnight from an elderly person that is 83 years old, that is a widow of a combat vet that has stage 4 breast cancer. What would you do? You act. You act because she is reaching out to you because she doesn't have anybody else to reach out to. So those type of calls, I don't care what time you call me. I don't care what you need. I'm going to help you.
Once again, let's on Refocused Radio, watching us. Well, you will be watching this graphic online on our YouTube channel, Refocused Network. But talking to our guest today, returning guest, Lieutenant Colonel Melva Rivera Perez, retired. Go to her website, is melvafortexas.com. Again, that's melvafortexas.com. We will probably have her on again. I think you can just be a regular at On Refocused Radio.
I would love to.
My last question for you, just kind of curveball, but I think it wraps everything up together. To be American, to be in these United States, it is a dream. It's a beautiful thing. And I think that is something that we can hopefully agree on. But to touch on this sensitive but probably important thing, and that is is no stranger to this country. There is some parts of the community where people feel left out, or they feel overlooked, or they don't feel like they're included in the process, or they have access to certain things. What's your message to all of Texans, and what do you hope that they will remember from you, and as far as your intent and what you want to do for serving the community?
My message to Texans, specifically Bexar County, San Antonio area, and the rest of the 6 cities that are within my district. I am here to help. I don't care what your religious preference is. I don't care what your skin color is. I don't care your economic, what your economic level. Thank you. Yeah. What your economic level is. All of that set aside. I don't care where you live. Good part, bad part, if you're rich, if you're poor. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you are part of the community. You are important. You are important. And that's what I want to leave with them, that everybody is important, no matter who you are, where you come from, what your background is, if you were rich growing up, if you were poor growing, it doesn't matter. You are important. And again, Melva Rivera Perez, Republican nominee for House District 119, everyone is important. And everybody should have a voice. And everybody's needs are important no matter where you live.
And on that note, like we always say, I want to say to our guests today, thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it for this opportunity. And again, I am very passionate about what I'm doing and what I represent.
Once again, go to melvafortexas.com, melvafortexas.com. Till then, y'all have a good one.